how long did it take you to learn your strategy and then to be able to become profitable?
I'd say over a year and a half. It definitely took a little in terms of like I've heard of like other traders that trade for like maybe 5, 6 years without, making any profits. So when I look at my situation, I feel like I'm a little bit lucky because like I managed to make some profits.
Hello guys, this is Jordan from Blue Guardian, and I've got the privilege today to introduce you to one of our funded traders at Blue Guardian. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Hey guys, my name is Awath and I live in Australia. I've been trading with Blue Guardian for a couple of months, I guess.
Yeah, fantastic. That's perfect. So, before we jump into how successful you've been with Blue Guardian, I just want to kind of understand your background really and how you got into trading.
Right. Trading, actually, I think it was like during the lockdown era. So a friend of mine
Yeah.
introduced me to trading. I didn't really know what it was at first, but they told me a little bit about it. I was kind of interested and I started looking into it. At that time, they invited me to a group called I Am Academy. Yeah. And so from there on,
Okay,
like,
yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
yeah, have you heard of them? Yeah. And back then, like it
I
was,
have, yeah.
yeah. So I didn't really take it seriously. So I didn't really put so much time into it because I was busy doing other stuff and all that stuff. And yeah, so it kind of just
Yeah.
like faded away just over time. And then it wasn't until last year that I decided to actually take it seriously and put more time into it, try and like learn a strategy where I can actually, start making profits or whatever. So I was just working real hard, like
Mm.
studying back testing, forward testing, using like demo accounts and all this stuff to just get ahead in the game.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Perfect. Oh, amazing. So, did you start off with a personal funded account, and then moved on to a prop firm, or did you kind of test on a demo and move straight to a prop firm account straight off the bat?
Yeah, so I started off with a demo, and then from there I funded my own little personal account just with like $1,000. And then around that same time, that's when I learned of prop firms. And then I started looking into like prop firms and like how they work and this and that. And there was like a YouTuber that I
Yeah.
was like really into, like just talked about trading. He was like really motivational. And so he was promoting Blue Guardian at the time. I was like, oh, okay, well, if this guy trades for
Okay.
Blue Guardian, why not check it out and see what they're about? And so that's what I did. Looked at it. It looked all nice, nice rules, this and that. And so I decided to give it a go.
Amazing. So, so obviously you went for a Blue Guardian account. So, how did the evaluation go for you? Was the rules good for your kind of trading style? How did that go?
Yeah, so when I first started, like it was pretty difficult because like I at the time like I was probably like maybe a year into trading like seriously, and like I was still trying to find my way.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how things really worked and that. I didn't know how the prop firm space worked as well. So like I got my first 100K account and like I think I blew it like immediately. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
a couple of weeks later, like I bought another one, and then yeah, it was still not that so good. So like I was still like just playing around, just testing what works and this and that. And then yeah, as
Yeah.
I kept blowing accounts. Actually, not gonna lie to you, I kept blowing accounts, and over time, I kind of like started losing a lot more or less, and kind of like started getting into like that
Yeah.
break even phase, and then eventually like I started making profits here and there, and then yeah, it just kept going on.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the process of a trader, isn't it? You're at that first stage where you're buying these prop firm accounts and you end up blowing them because you probably don't have the experience as of yet to be able to manage the rules. But once you get
Yeah.
to that level where you can successfully start passing them, it's only up from there, really, isn't it? So yeah, it's amazing that you're now at that level. It's great. So could you talk about your strategy a little bit? I think that'd be helpful for the viewers so they can understand kind of how you trade, what pairs, time frames, and all of that jazz.
Right. So when I started taking trading really seriously, I was learning. A friend of mine recommended me the ICT trading strategy. A
Yeah.
lot of people know ICT. I don't know if you heard about it, but yeah. So
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's very, very popular in the trading space.
yeah, it's very
Yeah.
popular right now. And so yeah, so that's kind of like I took like because he's got like a mentorship on YouTube. So me and my friend went through that mentorship
Yeah.
in like maybe 4 to 5 months, just like grinding hard to just go through all the videos. It was very boring and this and that, but we just like powered through it just to, because like we took it like really seriously. So we're like, we're just gonna learn everything, and it doesn't matter how long it's gonna take. We'll just get through it, and then hopefully by then,
Yeah.
like we'll have a little bit more better understanding of how the market works and how the strategy works, and then maybe we can use that to get a little bit of leverage in the market. And so that's what we did after we finished
Amazing.
it. That's like when we started utilizing prop firms, and then obviously like blowing accounts because we didn't know how the prop prop firm space works. And so, yeah, and then over time, obviously, we started getting better and better. So that's the strategy we use, ICT.
Fantastic.
And yeah, that's pretty much how it's been so far.
Amazing. Do you have specific pairs that you trade?
Oh,
I
yes.
know some people just trade gold, but other people trade mainly forex.
Yes, so I mainly trade gold, but every now and then I might trade
Yeah.
Nasdaq, just depending on how the market's moving on
Okay.
the day. I usually trade London session and New York session because I work during the
Okay.
day because I'm living in Australia, so I
Yeah.
can only have time to trade London sesh. If I finish work early, I might get home enough time to trade a London sesh, and then maybe later on in the night trade a New York session. And so those are the two time sessions we trade.
Perfect. Fantastic. Yeah, I think it's good to also, have a job alongside trading because you got that security of a job and you can start growing your kind of prop firm empire, as if you want to call it,
Yeah.
on the side, which is, yeah, it's good. So do you have specific time frames you trade, or do you kind of go top down and then drop down to the lower time frames to execute? It'd be interesting to know your thoughts on that.
Yep. So I usually like during the week, like I might start off on a daily time frame just to see where the market's kind of gonna go, and then on the day of the trade, like
Yeah.
maybe like within the hour, I'll probably like go off from the 4 hours to 1 hour, and then for executions, I'll really drop down into like 15 minutes. I might start doing my markouts around on the 15 minutes, and then I'll look into the 5 minutes just to like a few more confirmations, and then from there on, I'll make a
Yeah.
decision whether I'll enter the trade or not.
Perfect. That's great. And how is your kind of your risk strategy? Do you have just a normal stop loss and you don't move it, or once you're in a trade, let's say it goes in the right direction where you want the trade to go, do you kind of move that stop loss? Do you trail it behind, or yeah, what's your approach on risk?
My risk management, I usually on the trades, I'll usually aim for 1 to 2 most of the time, and then sometimes I might not even have a stop loss, but I'll have like a mental stop loss of where I want it to be. But like if I feel like the trade's taking a little bit too long, I'll definitely set like a stop loss to where I'd want to have it, and that like a safe stop. But if it's like if it's a fast paced market, I'll just set a TP, but without a stop loss because I know like the
Yeah.
market's running, and I'll just aim for my TP and that's it. But if I feel like the market's like playing around a little bit, I'll definitely put my stop loss in just in case it goes the wrong way, and then yeah, just go from there.
Amazing. And how do you find the difference from going from demo to now with a prop firm account? Is that a big difference in like mentality? Yeah, how did you approach that?
In mentality, I still feel it's still the same, but like it's a little bit more. It's so much easier on the demo, but like as soon as you get on like your live account or funded account, like there's a little bit more nerves because like if you do lose, you're definitely gonna lose profits and this and that. So like you're kind of like a
Yeah.
little bit on the edge sometimes, and like if you're not comfortable with a trade, like
Yeah.
you might be sitting on the fence a little bit. You might want to get out of the trade a little bit early or whatever, and this and that. But for the most part, like I feel very
Yeah.
comfortable getting the trades, and yeah, I just like let them play out until it hits TP. But yeah, I don't like being into trades like more than an hour. So maybe an hour long, like I'll let it
Hmm.
go for like an hour, and then if it's not doing so well after that, like no matter if it hasn't hit my TP or not, I might just exit the trade and then call it a night.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there's a question in the trading space: is it more psychological or is it more strategy? What would you say in that aspect? Do you think it's more focused on the strategy itself, or more of like a mindset problem with trading? Because as you know, a lot of people fail when they trade, so it's good to understand if is it the mentality side of things or is it the strategy? So yeah, what do you think?
I definitely think it's the psychology part of it. Because like with the strategy, you can
Yeah,
always learn the strategy. Like it's not hard to learn the strategy if you put in the work and you work hard to learn it. Like you learn it, you'll see it all the time, and but it's just a mental thing. Like executing the trades. Like you might see it and you might mark out everything and think, yeah, like it's gonna hit this and that, and it does hit. But like sometimes you hesitate because your mind's not there. You might think like it might not hit or whatever. So it's really like one of those things where you have to master your mind and psychology and just go for it.
yeah, definitely. I mean, even in my own trading career, it's always been mentality was my issue. I was hopping from when I first started. I was hopping strategy to strategy. I was like, oh, I must change strategy because it's not working. But in the end, it was literally just my mentality and not giving things a chance and seeing a losing trade and being like, it's definitely the strategy's fault, not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people kind of get into that cycle, don't they? So how long did it take you to learn your strategy and then to be able to become profitable? Was that a long period?
I'd say over a year and a half. It definitely took a little. I think in terms of like I've heard of like other traders that trade for like maybe 5, 6 years without, making any profits. So when I look at my situation, I feel like I'm a little bit lucky because like I managed to make some profits, but I'm still like not there yet. Like I'm still got like a long way to go. Like I've still got like heaps to learn, but like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
happy to
always a
like,
learning curve, isn't it?
yeah, I'm just happy to know that I'm at a point where I can make profits like right now.
Exactly, mate. Like, yeah, it's always a learning curve. You can always learn each day, but at least you're at that level where it works. You can pull profit. You just need to scale it now, and that's the perfect approach. So with the kind of the payout process with your funded account, how was that experience with Blue Guardian? Did you get paid on time, and was it a smooth process?
Yeah, definitely. So I had because it was my first payout, like I had to set up like a whole account with Rise and all that, how the whole situation works.
Mhm.
So it might have took maybe like maybe another day longer, but like I think it was because it was my first payout, so like I had to go through all that process. But like
Yeah.
so after that, like the next payout is like definitely a lot more smoother.
Fantastic. And how much, if you don't mind sharing to the audience, how much was your payouts in total so far that you've got from Blue Guardian?
So far, I've made about 9,000 out of Blue Guardian. Yeah.
That is amazing. Well done. That's very impressive. Very good. And so, have you got a kind of a strategy and a plan on your prop firm accounts? Are you going to scale to get more accounts or bigger accounts? What's your plan on that?
Yeah, I definitely plan to get more accounts. I mean, cause like with Blue Guardian, you can get up to 400K. I definitely wanted to like scale up a little bit and then just see if I can make like consistent profits within those accounts. Just scale it up just a little bit, a little
Perfect.
bit of progress here and there, and then see how far I can go with it.
Fantastic. That sounds like a great plan, mate. And what I like to do when I end these interviews, I like to ask a question to you to give some advice to maybe up and coming traders in the industry that are now attempting maybe their first prop firm account. What bit of advice would you give them just to help them on their way?
Trust the process, I'd say. Like if you want to get into trading, definitely sit down and put in the work to learn the strategy. Make sure you understand everything. Don't try and take any shortcuts. Like hard work pays off. Just put in the time to learn the strategy, and then eventually when you do decide to move on to like the prop firms or a personal account or whatever, just like you're gonna lose. At the start you're gonna lose, but just never give up. Just keep going, and you're gonna learn. Like the more you lose, the more you learn, and then over time you're gonna start making profits, and that's where like it really it pays off.
Yeah, that's some solid advice there, mate. That's great. So yeah, thank you very much for taking this interview and giving your story and some insights to potential funded traders. It's great, and I hope you all the success, mate. I mean, it's amazing what you've done so far. 9,000 in payouts already, which is a nice lump sum. So hopefully you can continue that on, mate, in the future. So yeah, thank you very much.